This is Jill. I'm coming to you from Jill George's in Brisbane, down under. My website is jillgeorges.com. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube now. And the idea was I wanted to upload my podcast onto YouTube and get it on another social media. And I have spent a lot of this week trying to work out how to do this. And it's a work in progress. So I hope you enjoy it. It's here to educate you, or you can think I'm full of shit. That doesn't matter. That's fine. Anyway, I start off with my podcast. I use anchor.fm. You log in, open an account. It's free of charge. I'm sort of giving you an idea of what it's like to do on the desktop. So anyway, I've already done the transition, which is this one over here. It's the pink one down. Can you see it? Can you see it? And it gives you like sounds. I chose Heist, which is down here. Go to Heist, and then you press plus, and it comes in here, and you hear the intro. Oh, sorry, the transition in. I'll close that. Anyway, let's start recording. Now I'm recording, I'm doing everything, and then I'm loading up. So I'm going to try and take as less amount of time as possible. So let us begin. You need to hear the sound down here where these waves are. If you do, you're in. Okay, let's go. Good morning. This is Jill coming to you from jillgeorges.com in Brisbane Down Under. jillgeorges.com is the website of Empowering Apparel, where you can take that empowerment to your next level. Today's podcast is episode 13, Followers, Fake or Real. This is the podcast that takes social media accounts and or websites and scrutinizes them. We educate you and help you choose whether you think they are fake or real and empower yourself to make that call. Now, let's go. So we've just done the first segment, which is the intro. Now we're on to the first segment. The first segment I'm doing is a Twitter account, very controversial in Australia. Anyway, let's get on with it. First of all, I'll show you what I've done here. This was the one that I did before. I just plus it in, and that's the one we were doing before. Good morning. This is Jill. Okay, that's very loud. Let's turn it down a bit. All good. Coming to you from... Yeah, still loud. Let's not listen to it. Moving right along. Next segment. Sorry. We have to do a transition first. So, what have I been doing? Glitch or some G word. Glug. Here it is. Glitch. There we go. Chuck it in. Have a listen. Very cool, wasn't it? Anyway, back to recording. Recording a new episode. And... Okay, welcome back to the next segment. Today I'm doing a business account, personal account, which leads onto a business account, which is a little bit controversial in Australia. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. So his name is Dave Peck, at Dave Peck on Twitter. He is the CMO at kind_financial. He's a geek, pop culture, nut, father of 5. Yes, 5. Nah, we beat you, Dave. We're 8. Anyway, moving right along. He's from San Carlos, California, I believe that is. 71,000 following and 203,000 followers. And he's got the blue tick. So, I had a look at him. I was pretty much looking at, digital marketing, ways to increase your Twitter, strategies to grow Facebook. These are all very relevant. And if you are interested in growing and looking at how you can change or add on to what you might already know, check it out. There are lots of them. But, this one's well worth it. I've had a look at a few articles in here. What intrigued me, though, was the fact that he is the CMO. So I went there and I thought, oh, look, technology solutions empowering the cannabis industry to transact safely, securely, and in compliance with AgriSoft Seed to the sale software and KindPay. So I thought, But I thought, he's got a tick. His business doesn't have the tick. However, we know that there are certain laws that have passed over in the States and I think Canada as well. So I just went there. He gives you a bit of a blurb if you go in there. There's a bit of a YouTube-y thing. See, Kind partners with the Canadian bank to deliver first ever seed to payment platform. So it says here, watch the video. Watch the video. It's just really all about the fact that they are seeing marijuana as a business. And I have had certain discussions with people here as well. And whether or not you're a marijuana user or not, the instigation of legalizing cannabis, whether it be for medical or personal use, is a real great game changer, because I'd like to know what the statistics are going to be on the use of the harder drugs as years go by in areas where they have legalized cannabis. I saw an article. I wish I could find it. If I did a Google search, I might look for it in the last segment when I say goodbye. But there was an article there about some Girl Guides, and they planted their stall outside of a cannabis store, and they made a mint. So I think they ended up getting in trouble for it, and I don't know what the ramifications were, or if it was the fact that they were looking at it as a business perspective and it may or may not have been allowed. I can't remember. But the whole point is that whomever was in their charge, i.e. mentor, parents, Girl Guide people, whomever, the point is they understood that there was a business opportunity and they grabbed it. And I think this is what's going on, and especially with this chap here. So I would highly recommend having a look. I'm sure you're not, in a lot of circumstances down under, going to be using his services. Maybe not, I don't know, I can't tell you. But it's interesting, and I'd like to know really what perspective you think about it, because that's how I think about it. I think about the lesser use of opioids for people, which means the price of opioids will come down or will eventually become more redundant, because if you have this lesser harsh drug, which is a plant, it's not a chemical, available, and you have to regulate it in a way that, for me, as in my opinion, that you're not allowed to drive, like drink driving, same similar thing. And whether you think, oh no, you're going to have more accidents and there's going to be more drugs. And, can you imagine how many less people will be in prison? I remember I worked in a bookshop. I had a bookshop, and someone ordered a book on something to do with New South Wales crime. They were doing it was a textbook for them. And I read that book in a day. And it was thoroughly interesting, and it was to do with this guy who had been done for marijuana. He had too much on him, and he was sentenced. He had to go into a prison in New South Wales. He was fairly attractive, and he was a target. And all he did, although he knew it was illegal, all he did was have too much marijuana on him. And he had the worst time in prison. They liked him in there. And I don't know what happened to him in the end, because it ended my book. But I just know that he was a target purely because of marijuana consumption. And I think they were saying statistics, and this was back in 2005 or 6, Statistics in New South Wales prison system, I think, was over 80%. That's so much room left in the prison system if you get rid of all the marijuana users. This is not rocket science. Why the heck are we paying as taxpayers for marijuana users in prison? It just makes no sense. So pull your finger out, in my opinion, regulate it, understand it has become a business, or continue to fill up the prisons with people and marijuana. I'm just saying. Welcome back to the next segment. I'm just gonna pop my deets over here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you again, even though you probably already know it. So there's that segment we had there. We pop it in, plus, see, beautiful. So I need to do another transition. As usual, go to glitch, glitch, glitch. There we go. Now for our next episode. Next episode is from an Instagram account. So let us begin. Welcome back to the podcast. So in the next segment, I'm looking at Instagram account from Brisbane with a smooth transition from the segment from before. This one's called Eat Plate Love. Eat_plate_love. Eat Plate Love is a Brisbane-based food, fashion, travel and lifestyle blog. eatplatelove@gmail.com. They're always liking my stuff. They send me messages. These people send some, can you see? Some real love. Real love. Anyway. I just commented about prosciutto. I love prosciutto. We used to have a calf and I used to follow Eat Plate Love, as I've mentioned before in my earlier episodes. And if I knew what I knew now, we'd still be in business. Maybe. But anyway, you know, can't take it all back. You just have to move forward and suck it up. Anyway, they got some really cool stuff on here. So they promote Brisbane business, which is what it's all about. Each one of us does quid pro quo. So if you legitimately like something of someone's, you say to them, hey, what you got there, or what exactly is on that plate? And then you talk to each other, you have a legitimate, authentic conversation. And this is what we do. So this is their page. Look, it's chockers. Our business is probably way back, but that's okay. But it just makes you hungry, doesn't it? It's not good. Not good. That's okay. But yeah, this is the one. Look at it. Look at that yummy prosciutto. I just love prosciutto. So good. So if you want to follow a Rigididge Brisbane-based blog and Instagram account that promotes Brisbane food, eat_plate_love on Insta. I'm sure they're probably on Facebook. I should ask them. I will ask them, and I would follow them on there anyway. But Instagram is just as good. I'd say Facebook is your advertising account. So don't forget, when you want to talk to people on Instagram, be authentic and communicate. Don't just like. Like is great though, because I like stuff. You should see my son go through Instagram. It's like, you know, max 5 seconds on a profile, and it's just double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. It's like, Ethan, what are you looking at? And he knows exactly what he's looking at, but oh my God, they're fast. Anyway, that's a whole other different kettle of fish. Eat Plate Love. If you're hungry, have a look at some of the places where they are. If they're close by, pop in. If you need a reservation, ring up. If you can order it, order it online, because there's some awesome places that you can get some beautiful food. Especially, that place I went to the other day. Have a look on my Instagram. So good. That was breakfast. So good. By the way, I am not vegan. I like vegan food, but I'm not vegan. Hence, I just like all sort of food. I don't like cooked cabbage. But, we don't want to talk about what food I like. Anyway, there you go. That's Eat, Plate, Love, and like them, follow them, communicate with them. I hope you will. Back to the last segment. This is my outro, the summary. I've done my business, I've done a personal, and I'm done. So you can see here that I have one more transition to go before my summary. So my final transition is popcorn, because it's lighthearted. I like it. It's very nice. Have a listen. I'll pop it in there first. Pop it in. Here it is. That was very loud. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to the last part. So I have a recorded blurb here because it's a gradual process, and I have to do lists. I have to, I need to. So here we go. Make sure I can hear myself. Okay. So if you're still here, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my podcast, subscribe. Remember, just that red button down there. You can also like me on Anchor, which is the yellow star, and on iTunes, and comment. And look me up on other social media accounts. You can find me on JILLJORRGES, or you can go to Facebook, which is Jill Georges, and then it's spelt DOTCOM.com. So if you enjoyed it today, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your foe. And remember, I'll be back with another episode of Followers, Fake or Real. So what have we learnt today from the accounts that we did? Well, I don't understand. I found I found eat_plate_love on Twitter before I found Dave's profile. I was wanting to do Eat, Plate, Love because it was a Brisbane-based food blog or promoting Brisbane, Southeast Queensland, Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, and why wouldn't you want to promote that? Conversely, talking about that whole Dave Peck, financial business that he has, in how he is having a platform in conjunction with Canadian Bank, according to that website, in establishing marijuana business as a business. So we've got to get on a board eventually. With these things becomes more business, and as I was telling you about that whole Girl Guide thing, it was real. Just Google it and you'll find the article. And it also helps other businesses. If you also have marijuana, then you have textiles, you have food, and it doesn't always have to be hallucinogenic. You have declarations, yada, 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 yada. I just think that if the states who have decided to legalize it in various states, And we're already legal, I believe, in a few anyway, and we're still not on board. It just makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. I have one of the things that's in my skeleton's closet, so to speak, is one of the members in my family is my brother, and he has mental health issues, and marijuana helps him. Marijuana is a huge thing that helps his mind come back to reality. And I don't know if fixing it is going to allow him to be stoned 24/7. But what I do know is, in my experience, when he was with me, he was him again. And I really enjoyed that time. But at the moment, I can't enjoy that time. And I have whatever issues I might have. But maybe going through this process will find me some sort of platform in the future, I don't know, to champion things like that, because in my experience I have seen what it does, and it changes you when you have particular mental health issues. I'm not saying all of them, because they've all got to be tested, but he was how I remember him when we were teenagers, and it was great. And I don't get that back. I haven't had that back since, and it was, I don't know, 2003. That's a long time. That's 15 years ago since I had that kind of personal interaction with him, comparative to now, which is not really understanding. But anyway, that's for another episode. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about this. It's about being authentic. That's what I was saying about eat_plate_love. You've got to be authentic. People like real. Some of them like fake. You know, there's lots of beautiful people around, and lots of, you know, hyper bowl of awesome, fabulous figures who earn lots of income, and their fabulousness because they're on mainstream media and they're always promoted, but they also like real people, and eventually they will find you. So I've got a few people, and that's fine. Anyway, as I said, I can be found on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And you can always send me a suggestion. You can email me. There's a chat thing there if you want to send through something. If you think, this website is particularly marketed in one area, take it from me. I'm a female. I like being empowered, and I like to have women empowered. So that doesn't mean that I understand that there are men out there who champion us. They do, and we appreciate that. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to see you tomorrow, and until then, sayonara.